Okay, give them a countdown.
So I'm Orson, and this is my presentation, Burning, Farming, and Profiteering, the Amazon and its Possible Collapse. Now before I make my question and claim, I just want to show a cool picture about the absolute size of the Amazon rainforest. As you see, it's huge. I mean, it is inside 9 total countries inside the South American continent. Now when you look at the Amazon, or when you measure the Amazon, its size is 2.124 million square miles. You compare that to Virginia, in which our state size is only 42,000 square miles. That means you can fit up to 50 of our states inside the Amazon rainforest. And so that led me to question, how long do we have until the Amazon possibly collapses? And with that, I was able to discover quickly, we don't have a lot of time. Now, let's look at this graph here from 1985. And as you see the Amazon lush green, and you see, look at these 2 points right here, forest formations and farming. As you see in 1985, there's not a lot of farming. However, in 2017, you can see the green being eroded by farming. Now, why? Because Brazilian farming is very important for its economy. Back in 2008, they faced the Great Recession that most countries around the world faced. However, Brazil is very politically unstable, which means that its markets are very volatile. So that meant they had another crash in 2011 and another crash in 2015 and 16 due to political corruption. And so that means, you know, when you have a bad economy, that leads to quite outlandish voices rising to power, such as that of Jair Bolsonaro, who, along with his party, the Social Liberal Party, which isn't very liberal, looking at the ideology, he was able to become president of Brazil, winning by 11 points over his left-wing center-left opponent, Federo Haddad. And so what Bolsonaro did, one of many things that he did, was to loosen regulations on the Amazon rainforest. And because of the loosening of regulations, that means that he wanted to expand the economy to allow it to export more food towards the world, you know, try and grow the economy out of the recession that it was in. And when you loosen the restrictions on the Amazon, you get that. You know, you get burnings so that the trees are gone, and it creates more room for farming. And so as a result of these, you know, semi-intentional burnings to create more farms for the economy, and the increasing international pressure placed on Bolsonaro, Bolsonaro signed a decree to ban burning for 60 days in August. So that's done now, by the way. So, as you know, he banned burning the Amazon for 60 days as a result of the international pressure, both within and outside of his country. And so I just want to look back at 2017. This was before the big fires, so we can already imagine how much of the Amazon was lost because of the huge Amazon rainforest fires. This is back in 2017. And this image right here from the European Union, their space agency, shows the amount of smoke that covered the Amazon rainforest during its fires. And with the amount of smoke, that blocks the sun. And of course, with you know, environmental science, without the sun, there could be no transpiration, meaning there's no precipitation, leading to the trees to dry up and possibly die. This is what leads to a dieback effect, where the Amazon rainforest is drying up, and which means that when it dries up, it's way easier to burn, meaning that the Amazon rainforest could potentially turn into something like a savanna. And so with that, I was able to ask myself, well, you know, how long do we have? And I found this great piece of information from the New York Times in a recent article where in 1990, a team of scientists put together a simulation on how long the Earth would have until the Amazon becomes a net emitter of greenhouse gases, meaning that it becomes like a savanna. And so the simulation spat out the year 2050, That means we only have 30 years. But keep in mind that that simulation was in 1990. So you can already imagine how much less time we have due to the rapid increase of these fires that were previously unheard of before. So can anything be done in this situation? Well, of course, there are three main ways. One, protesting, which has already been done on a very massive scale. You have climate protests happening around the world, particularly in America and Europe, letting people around the world know about the impending dangers that we face. Another would be volunteering for various environmental organizations, WWF, Greenpeace, Oceana. Protecting the environment is something that's very important in order, for us to live on this planet longer. And of course, the biggest thing, voting. We voted, unfortunately, we voted in these people who allow this situation to happen. But because of our numbers, we can vote them out and bring, about a time where we can, repair the damage that we've done to the environment. And so that led me to my conclusion that we have very little time to turn things around before we reach a point of no return when it comes to the Amazon rainforest. But that doesn't mean all hope is lost, because we can still save it. However, we have very little time, and we have to act now. Thank you.
All right.